Noah controls a Princess Yui and a royal assassin. Andrew casts Imposter Mech, copying the Princess Yui. Noah doesn't like that and casts a disenchant targeting the vehicle. In response, Andrew crews the vehicle, turning it into an artifact creature. Can Andrew use the death trigger to bring the Imposter Mech back, copying Royal Assassin? If yes, what properties does it have? Well, the first question is, does the Imposter Mech even return? After all, once it stops being on the battlefield, it stops being a copy of the Princess Yui, so it doesn't have the ability anymore. Well, as some of you might know, the Imposter Mech's ability does trigger. The reason for that is that triggered abilities that trigger when a permanent leaves the battlefield actually look back in time to see how the game state was right before the permanent left the battlefield. Since Imposter Mech was a Princess Yui, it had that ability and therefore it can trigger. Otherwise cards like Not Dead After All would just not work at all. So the Imposter Mech can come back, and as it enters, Andrew chooses to copy the Royal Assassin. So what happens now? Well, now we have two continuous effects working on this permanent. One sent up by the copy effect and the other one set up by the death trigger. Since we have multiple continuous effects, we apply them in layers, the earliest layer applying first. In layer 1, Imposter Mech turns itself into a copy of Royal Assassin, and that's it for layer 1, right? Wrong. When an effect directly modifies how a permanent is copied, that is also applied in layer 1, not the usual layer for that type of effect. Therefore, in layer 1, the mech also becomes an artifact vehicle with crew 3. Then we apply the other continuous effects. In layer 3, its name becomes Moon, in layer 4, its card type is replaced with land, and in layer 6, it grants the ability to tap for colorless. So the final characteristics of this permanent will be Moon, a black land with mana cost 1 and 2 black, with tap to destroy target tapped creature, crew 3, and tap to add colorless to your mana pool. Seeing this answer, a lot of people might think, a non-vehicle with crew, can you even crew it? And the answer is yes. The rules text for crew do not state that the permanent needs to be a vehicle to activate this ability. Therefore, you actually can crew the land, and if you do that, it will stop being a land, but rather be a 1/1 artifact creature until end of turn.